County. That does include the Norman Park area. Doppler radar has indicated a possible tornado near Norman Park, and that warning is in effect until 7 p.m. We have about another 26 minutes on this potential tornado indicated once again by radar. Now, these outer bands from what is Hurricane Helene are starting to push northward across South Georgia, and this is one of those just along Ellington Norman Park Road, moving further off toward the north, just along Highway 319. Possible tornado in the Norman Park area. There is a warning. If you are there, make sure you are getting to that safe place, staying away from any windows, and just making sure that, you aren't venturing outside to see what's happening out there. Once again, a possible tornado around the Norman Park area. That is in Colquitt County. That has been indicated by Doppler radar, and now we have a tornado warning covering portions of Colquitt County. As we can look on velocity, not really seeing much in terms of a lot of rotation here, but potentially it was indicated by Doppler radar. Cool Springs Road, you are included in this tornado warning. Also, along 319, here's Highway 319, here's Norman Park, and that's where we potentially have that possible tornado right now. Once again, get to your safe area. Make sure that you are not trying to see what's happening out there. That warning does extend further southward, covering Pineboro over toward Cool Springs, just along Cool Springs Road, and possibly it is in this area, sitting right on top of Norman Park, moving off toward the north right now, so possibly a tornado in that area. Now, as it pushes further off toward the north, if you're in southern areas of Worth County, just be aware that that storm, possibly a tornado indicated by Doppler radar, will be pushing well into your area. But for now, make sure that you are in that safe place. Now, this is going to be the trend for the rest of this evening. An isolated tornado or two is possible. We are dealing with the outer bands from Helene. Although Helene is across the southern Gulf of Mexico, well, those outer bands are very extensive, and they have pushed further off toward the north. We have a storm tracker on that possible tornado, which will be moving mainly off toward the north, possibly impacting areas around New Hope Church about 6:45, heading toward Powelltown around 7 p.m., and then more toward Parker School just after 7 p.m. That would be into areas of Worth County. It is going to be very active for the rest of this evening as those outer bands bring in more rainfall, also some thunderstorms around, and even, once again, that potential threat for isolated tornadoes. Tornado warning is holding for areas of Colquitt County. It does extend just off to the east of Moultrie. Moultrie not included in the warning, although you've got some hefty activity coming right through the city. Ellington, the warning is just on the northwest side of the city, and that does extend a little bit further off toward the east, not quite over to I-75, and the warning does stop shy of the Worth County line, even the Tift County line, but for now, all interests around the Norman Park area. Doppler radar has indicated a possible tornado in that area. Once again, this is all part of what will continue to be a very active evening, as well as overnight periods of moderate to heavy rainfall. Those outer bands from Helene will be pushing further off toward the north, and that's going to keep us with the active weather in terms of tropical downpours and also that potential threat for an isolated tornado in the area.
I did want to read some of the details of why they call this tornado warning. Now, right now, the tornado warning is for that northeastern Colquitt County in south central Georgia until 7 p.m. And the reason why they called this is because a weather spotter reported a funnel cloud in the region. And so that is why they went ahead and called this tornado warning there at the National Weather Service. The impacts that they have right now are the flying debris will be dangerous to those without shelter. Mobile homes could be damaged or destroyed, and damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely as well. And you still have some heavy rainfall out there and some winds as well. Now, we are getting some of this as Helene's bands do make their way into the area. Right now, I know we were mentioning earlier, we just don't see a whole lot on our velocity imagery right now with this storm, but that warning is out there, meaning that there is something possible in those areas. So what you want to do if you live in that region of Colquitt County, which includes Norman Park, there along 319, also there on Doran Norman Park Road, getting into School Springs Road, Barbers, Cool Springs, also there, I believe that is 256 headed down toward Norman Park as well. So if you live in any of those areas in Colquitt County, I even see Sumner Road crossing from Worth County down into Colquitt County. That is clipping that area as well. So if you live anywhere along those roads or in Norman Park, this system is right over you with that potential rotation in the area. And so that's what we are continuing to watch. You can see that we're already starting to get in. I'm going to go ahead and animate this for you so you see what's happening. So you can see all those showers and storms just bubbling up as we begin to see some of these outer bands from Helene making its way into southwest Georgia, leading to these tropical thunderstorms that could produce severe weather, just as tornadoes, damaging winds. We'll really start picking the bulk of this up tomorrow when it comes to the worst of the weather. However, tonight, we're already getting in some of that moisture and even some of these warnings that you can see there in Colquitt County right now. And so this is something that we're going to continue to watch for you. Now, this warning is going on into the next 20 minutes, all the way until 7 p.m. right now. So that, remember, includes the opportunity for a tornado to pop up at any time. There was a funnel cloud that was spotted in that area, which is the reason why this warning was put out across that area, especially over Norman Park and there around 256 and 319 and that northeastern corner of Colquitt County. So I'll expect to see this kind of trim back. But if you live in Worth County, the southern parts of Worth County, this storm looks like it is on its way towards you here within the next couple of minutes. You can already see the storm kind of doing that classic. I believe what we're seeing right there is like heavy rainfall. We're starting to see some lightning with this, so it's really not starting to fall apart, it looks like, at any point just yet. But we are going to be keeping a close eye on this. Let me go ahead and put a track back on this so those areas getting into Worth County can get an idea of where this is heading. So this is around 3 locations that we're getting right now based on this current track. New Hope Church, if you live near New Hope Church, near Oak Ridge Church or Powell Chapel, those areas, it's going to be near your region within the next 10 minutes. That's kind of heading closer toward Worth County if this system holds together with that tornado possibility with it. So that's something that we're going to continue to watch here over the next few hours, and especially over the next couple of days with this tropical system expected to come in to southwest Georgia. We could be seeing more tornado warnings here. We could be seeing more tropical storm force winds. But a lot of that's coming in tomorrow. This is dealing with one of those bands that is making its way in with a tornado tag on it. So if you live in Norman Park, please stay in your safe spot and stay alert and stay aware, please, at this time.
Tommy, actually, I am seeing a video that a viewer sent in of that possible tornado in Moultrie. Well, actually, just outside of Moultrie, you see the red shaded area where we have the polygon here for the tornado warning, and that's on the northeast side of Colquitt County, just off to the east of Moultrie. But the video that I'm seeing was taken, I guess, along one of the highways there. It appears to be a possible tornado. You can't see whether or not it's actually touching the ground, but as Tommy mentioned, the National Hurricane Center did issue, National Weather Service issue the tornado warning as a result of a trained storm spotter indicating that possible tornado there around the Norman Park area. So that is what we have right now. Possible tornado indicated by Doppler radar. There is a warning on it for the Norman Park area. Areas of northern Colquitt County. Notice that warning does stop shy just along the Tift-Worth County line. The storm itself Not seeing a whole lot of movement, Tommy, but still indicating that it does encompasses the Norman Park area. Notice the back edge of the warning around Pineborough. Ellington, you're not included in that warning. Back off toward the west, here's Moultrie, and it does move just along Highway 319 as this appears to be pushing off toward the northwest, and that is the movement of the spiraling rain bands coming in from the south northward, all a part of what is Hurricane Helene. Eventually, Helene will be closing in on the Gulf Coast, and that is going to be the trend as we move throughout the overnight on into tomorrow. We are looking at projected landfall getting into tomorrow evening, but ahead of Helene's arrival, impactful weather will only increase in coverage as well as intensity. That does include the potential threat for tornadoes across South Georgia, and we are getting in on the beginnings of what is likely to only ramp up later on tonight on into tomorrow.
I know that warning currently being covered up on here. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up just so you can get an idea of where it's currently sitting and if we've seen any trimming of this warning so far. Well, not right now. We're still keeping this warning right there in northeastern Colquitt County over Norman Park, Barbers, Pineborough, Cool Springs, those regions as well. This does not include the city of Moultrie there in Colquitt County, but don't be surprised if you're hearing the tornado siren going off. It's not too far away from you there in Norman Park. 319, though, the area to watch as it begins to move. I can even see Crossland popping up there. Don't run Norman Park Road going on. I can see Sumner Road there as well. Ellington Road, Norman Park Road, Cool Springs Road, all these locations are the ones that are currently under that warning. And this looks like it could soon be crossing over if it holds that tornado signature that was seen at Funnel Cloud. And, you know, we did just get a video in, and that was a trained spotter that did spot this system. So if it's holding together, it could move into portions of southern Worth County. Scooterville, it looks like you could be in the line of sight for this storm as it continues to move through. Right now, I'm not seeing much when it comes to lightning. Make sure that it's on. So the lightning data is not popping up. Well, they did just let that warning expire at this time. So that is some good news for us. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I confirm that in the National Weather Service chat. Yes, they did let that warning expire here in the area. That is some good news here across Southwest Georgia. However, like we talked about, this could possibly just the beginning of what we could be dealing with when it comes to Hurricane Helene's impacts across Southwest Georgia. So we're going to go ahead and send you back to regular scheduled programming. And if there are any other warnings or anything else that pops up here in the area, we'll be first to get on air to let you know of these impending dangers. Thank you for joining us, and we'll send you back to regularly scheduled programming.
Wednesday evening, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Yolanda Amadeo with Tommy Owens. We have a new tornado warning. It does cover areas of Worth and portions of Tift County. The polygon that you see here, this tornado warning was issued as a result of one that was actually spotted. We started with a warning over northern Colquitt County. Now we have a warning coming into southern Worth County, portions of Tift County. That warning does extend off toward the east, not into Omega, just outside of Omega. But of course, possible tornado. Hopefully you are getting into that safe area right now. If you're in that area of Worth County, just along the Worth-Tift County line. Tommy, if we could zoom in just a little bit closer to see what areas are possibly impacted by that potential tornado. We are looking at Scooterville here, just along the Scooterville-Tifton Road, where possibly a tornado is. It has been cited, and the National Hurricane Center, the National Weather Service issuing a tornado warning for areas of Tift as well as Worth counties. Now, likely pushing off toward the northwest, Powelltown, you are included in that tornado warning. Of course, this is all part of those outer feeder bands from Hurricane Helene. And although it is in the southern Gulf of Mexico, those outer rain bands already reaching as far north as South Georgia. That gives you an idea of just how large this system is. And the impactful weather for our area is only going to increase in terms of intensity as well as coverage for the rest of tonight throughout our Thursday, and as the storm makes landfall tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. So this is going to be a long-lasting event in terms of rain, thunderstorms, and potentially tornadic activity. Once again, a tornado warning for areas of Worth and portions of Tift County until 7:15. The possible tornado right now around Scooterville, pushing off toward the northwest. If you're in that area, make sure you are in a safe place. Try not to venture outdoors. That closet, smallest room in your home. Of course, on the velocity, still not seeing much in terms of possible rotation. Of course, it is after sunset, and we've got a lot of rain out there. But based on the National Weather Service issuing this tornado warning, there is likely or possibly a tornado in this particular area right around Scooterville, as that's where we have the tornado warning stretching just off to the south of Tai. It is along the Worth-Tift County line, pushing off toward the east, just off to the west of Omega. And it does include Scooterville-Tifton Highway right there. Powelltown, you're on the north edge of the polygon, that tornado warning. So if you're in any of these areas between Powelltown, Scooterville, along the Colquitt, Worth, Tift County line, make sure you are getting to a safe area right now, as possibly there is a tornado in your area. The tornado warning is until 7:15. So we'll keep you updated. So far, not getting any reports in, although it is a warning, so we need to take that very seriously, and you need to make sure that, yes, you are staying in that safe place until we give you the all clear. This is going to be potentially the trend for the rest of tonight throughout our Thursday, and no doubt about it, as we have a landfalling hurricane tomorrow evening, a major hurricane, likely to be a Category 4 storm. Those outer bands will only continue to really ramp up, and that's going to come in with those bands of storms, some producing possibly tornadic activity, along with very heavy rainfall. Notice how the heavy bands now stretching further off toward the north, just along Highway 82. It is off to the south. Potentially, there's that possible tornado off to the north of Moultrie and just off to the west of Tifton, west of I-75. We see that cluster, which could be the possible tornado moving off toward the northeast. So everyone needs to be in that safe room right now if you're anywhere between Seltzer, Scooterville, and then just off to the west of Anderson City. Tommy is putting a storm tracker on that potential or possible tornado heading possibly toward Pine Forest Church area. If you're in that location, if you're familiar with the Pine Forest Church, also the Mount Zion Church, any time between 7:10 to around 7:20, and then eventually over toward the Worth County Hospital. I would place it near Sylvester about 7:25, but that warning is in effect until 7:15. Once again, outer bands from Hurricane Helene. Right now it's a Category 1 hurricane, continuing to intensify. It is well off to our south, still in the southern Gulf of Mexico, but notice just how extensive that storm is with these outer bands steadily moving now across South Georgia. And of course, we are getting the stronger activity in terms of tornadic activity beginning to develop here across our area. There are other thunderstorms around, seeing some flashes of lightning, not only across Thomas County. Notice that line of thunderstorms just across northern Colquitt County. All of that is moving toward southern Worth County, southern Tift County. Also, our storm tracker indicating possible rotation over into portions of, I believe that's Berrien County, northern Berrien County, near Willacoochee, possibly some rotation there. But no doubt you are getting tropical downpours right now, likely some strong winds in the area as all of this continues to pass off toward the north and northwest. I believe you have some new information, Tommy?
Yes, the tornado warning has been canceled once again. They did cancel for both Tift and Worth counties as of 7:04. So it looks like right now you're going to still just give yourself a little extra time. The storm could be out there, but it looks like conditions are improving. However, we're going to see a lot of rainfall coming from those tropical bands here through South Georgia for the next 36 hours, maybe a little bit more than that as well. You want to make sure you're staying alert, staying aware. Keep that First Alert Weather app handy because these warnings will pop up, and we'll also make sure we alert you here online, on the air, once again, when any of these warnings do pop up in our area. So definitely stay safe out there and make sure you are paying very close attention to the weather over the next 36 to 48 hours. We're going to send you back to regular scheduled programming, but we just want to give you an idea of what that First Alert Radar network is looking like right now as these storms continue to push in across Southwest Georgia.